right, man. Let's talk about Bryce Young, Lamar Jackson. To me, it's at that point where it's Lamar, Bryce Young. If I'm going in the first round, now I don't see much about. Haven't seen Levis. I seen Stroud, and maybe I can break down. And my opinion may change. Obviously, my famous opinion changed on Tyrese Maxey. My famous miss was on Michael Parsons, right? So I don't mind saying I was wrong, but right now that's their options. If I'm gonna take a quarterback in the first round, or I'm gonna take a quarterback coming out of free agency, my options is this: either I'm sticking with Goff for another year, I'm taking some of these assets I got this year, turn them into assets next year. Hopefully, I got enough assets to get Caleb Williams. Might come out this year if he get drafted, if he go to court and all that. But we know that's won't happen, right? Unless another quarterback becomes available. So pretty much it's Jared Goff, Bryce Young in the first round, Lamar Jackson, or I'm going another quarterback outside the first. It depends how I feel about Jaden Daniels. That's a lot of development got to be done there. The Florida quarterback, a lot of development got to be done there. And if I did go Bryce Young and Lamar Jackson, I'd probably still take the Hendon Hooker kid from Tennessee, just to have a developmental quarterback on the back burner. I still may take him. 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th round. I still may take him. Just to have, just to kind of start somewhat of a quarterback farm system, just like New England did to get, to stockpile picks. I still might have a warm arm in the damn kitchen. I still might have a top cook who can be chef if the chef is out for the day. But at this point, it's either that. That's the options right now. From my perspective, that's the options. So it's either you going outside the second, Lamar in free agency, Jared Goff, or Bryce Young in the first. That's it. Now, if you like something that CJ Stroud is bringing to the table and you think you can fix what's wrong with him, so be it. Physically, gifted arm, can run and all that. But then again, it's an issue with every option on here. A lot of people don't like the option of Jared Goff. Cool. But then again, he been steady this year. A lot of people like the option of more of a mobile quarterback. Cool. You're paying Lamar a lot of money, but then again, you say, man, if we can get Bryce Young, if we can move up or somehow get in position to get Bryce Young, you used to take CJ Stroud wherever it go. If we can get in the position to get Bryce Young, the only issue we worried about is physically, can he hold up? We're going to look at him athletically. We're going to look at the arm talent. We're going to look at the accuracy, how he translate. And if he the guy, he the guy. But in the move with the Lions, you talk about it all has its positive and its negatives. The negative with Goff is that you still looking for a quarterback. That's the biggest negative. He ain't the future. He really ain't the present to a lot of people. So you gotta look for somebody to come. But you still can get, two things can be true. You still can keep Goff and get Young. You still keep Goff, get Jaden Daniels. You still get Goff, Hendon Hooker. Still get Goff, another prospect, whoever it may be. Two things can be true. You can get Lamar and still get a guy like Hendon Hooker. You can get Lamar and still get a developmental quarterback. Real talk, you can still get Lamar and do other things. But that's the number one thing about Jared Goff. That's the number one thing about the number one thing about Jared Goff is just like you still don't have a future. But how I see it personally, how I see it, it's either Goff, Young, or Jackson. That's what it is. And it could change when we break down the film and all that stuff. That's where I'm sitting at it with it. And I'm pretty much neck and neck with Young and Jackson at this point. But the number one thing you got to ask yourself when you say, well, we're going to drop in a Bryce Young, you got a team that hopefully there's some momentum going into 2023 at the end of the season. They make a playoff push, and hopefully they make the playoffs, right? All right. So if you can make that push to the playoffs, right, You know, you can make that push. Cool. You can make that push to the playoffs. You know? And then you say, well, we plug in Bryce Young, you know it's going to be a learning curve. But the thing about it is, there's not going to be a huge drop-off in talent. It's going to be a drop-off from Alabama, but, you know, Jameson Williams is former receiver. You probably bring back Shark Reynolds, obviously St. Brown, Tom Kennedy, Khalif Raymond, cool. You know? So there's talent. Good offensive line. Probably want to get a right guard. Cool. You want to keep high tie, so be it. So, good offensive talent. You really want to build that defense. That's pretty much where you're going at. You probably want to build that deep, but plug them in right now and, you know, just deal with the issues as far as the learning curve. Will it hold back the Lions a lot? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Because the last crop of rookie QBs have not made that transition well. Look at Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you got to give him a red shirt year because dealing with Urban Meyer. I'm fine with that. Justin Fields started to come on, but they didn't give him much. Trey Lance, we don't know. Mac Jones, they took away Josh McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? He fell off a cliff. Now they talking about Tom Brady might come back to New England. All right? So now we're going through, you know, different scenarios, but, you know, he supposed to be the crown jewel. Didn't have a bad year this year, had a shoulder injury. Think about the line, he a little thin, both with Lamar. But one thing you know about him, that he can play in a pro-style offense. That's one thing you know about him. He can play in a pro-style offense. He can play in a pro-style offense. So, you're talking about Lamar and injuries. But then again, the biggest question ain't injuries for me. The biggest question with Lamar Jackson is, can he operate within the system? And you hear he frustrated with the Ravens offensive system and all that. You know, Kenny Lyons put a system in play that could preserve his health and put him in position to throw the ball. And can he throw the ball in the timing offense? Can he do what Jared Goff would do? When Jared Goff hit that third step and the 3-step drop, you know, guess what? You know, a lot of times this season, that ball gone. When he go 5 and a hitch or something like that, when he hit that 5-step, you know what? Oh, it ain't there, I'm there. So you ask yourself, can Lamar do that? He have a better receiving core here. He had big receivers, fast receivers, nice size receivers, speedy receivers. You know what I'm saying? Young tight ends, Mark Andrews, you have some good backs. But the first thing I discussed with him, that design run shit is done. We have a couple in there for the end of the season and critical moments, but that shit is done. Triple option, wing T, quarterback power, we not doing that shit. And we have to sit down and go over each one of these scenarios. I would ask permission, can I have Ben Johnson speak to him? You have to break over his film and go through, but both injury questions with him and Bryce. But you kind of know Bryce is going to be okay in the NFL pro-style offense. You know. The only issue coming from Alabama is you take away all the trinkets, you take away all the talent, you know what I'm saying? What do you have left? And a lot of times they become so dependent. It's like a baby and its pacifier. They become so dependent. On having everything, and then you get to the NFL and you don't have everything. You don't know how to make nothing work out of nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's a big question. So to me, it's between them. As of right now, I might watch Stroud film and say, man, he ain't that bad. He might be the pick. Love his arm, love his size, love his strength. You know what I'm saying? Love a lot of things about him. But right now, the number one options for somebody to come in and start next year is Jackson and Young. Now, you got to move up to Young. What you willing up to move up? If you like him that much. And do you let it be known you like him that much? And how much do you let it be known? Because Houston going to have number one. And you know Houston going to like him. But it's going to be, have CJ Stroud, had a better finish to the season, then hey. But you never know what Houston look for. They went to Kyle Allen as quarterback. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, you move T.J. Hockenson, but you do got DeAndre Swift. You know, you got some picks. But it depends on how much, you know, you Houston, you got to play it close to the vest. You Detroit, you kind of got to play it close to the vest. If you get high enough to get in position to take a guy, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, it's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. But, you know, they both come with a price. If you get high enough, you can get, you know, Bryce, you know, Stroud, Levis without moving, cool. You know, but if you can, you know, depend on what they want for Lamar Jackson, come with a price. Either you're going to trade assets for Lamar and pay him, or you're going to, you know, hopefully you can fall in position to get a quarterback you really like and keep all your assets and build around that quarterback. So, that is what it is from that standpoint of view. But that's your options right now. Anything other than that, you know, if I'm looking at a guy like Geno, Jameis, or Jaden Daniels, Hendon Hooker, etc., I'm pretty much looking at, you know, the other guys in the draft and developing. That's why I say they should have took a flyer on Malik Willis, because it's the you know, you could have been developing them. They need a warm arm in the kitchen. Somebody they developing behind the scenes like Garoppolo, Matt Castle, Jacoby Brissett. Somebody, you know, just in case, you know, Hostetler, you know, they can get you over the top. Nick Foles. And then you start thinking like that, bro. And I don't think Hendon Hooker would be a bad flyer, but hey, on that. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all our notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $, CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Peace.